Michael! Michael, quick!
Look at it.
The police. Ring the police.
Okay, Mr. Walker, can you tell me what's been stolen from the property? Well, that's the TV, sir, yes. And also video equipment. And did you hear or see anybody during the evening? You didn't. If you could leave everything as it is, then as soon as we've got a policeman available, I'll get them to call round there and see you. Okay, Mr. Walker. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, Sergeant. We have a burglary coming in for number 10 St Peter's Road, City. It's Mr. Walker, Michael Walker. He's had his television and his video equipment stolen during the night. No, we didn't see anybody. Okay?
Phil, you just out?
Yes, Sergeant.
I'll get back. Little present for you. Break-in, 10 St Peter's Road. It's on your beat, isn't it? IP is Mr. Walker. Get round there as soon as you can, son. Television, video and accessories reported stolen.
On my way, Sergeant.
Good lad.
They are, Sergeant.
$9918 now at 10 St Peter's Road. What else besides the video recorder?
About 10 cassettes and the television set.
What sort of television was it, sir?
An 18-inch colour set.
I'll have to get all the details before I go. Just leave everything the way it is here, please. We'll be sending CID and our fingerprinting people around shortly. There's a trace of blood on here. The lads will deal with it when they get here.
It was really, really a noisy party.
So people were still coming and going?
As far as I know, I wasn't sort of,
Excuse me, madam. We're making inquiries about a break-in last night at number 10. We're making inquiries about a break-in which occurred next door. These door-to-door inquiries are hard slog, but it's this sort of routine work which can lead to the solution of a case. It wasn't what I imagined life in the force would be like when I first thought about it as a career. But then one day, when I was still at school, a sergeant arrived to talk to our class.
Good morning. I'm Sergeant Gascoigne and I've come to answer your questions that you want to ask me, I'm sure, this morning about the police force. Who's going to start me off with the first question? Yes.
Do you get to do lots of exciting things in the police force?
It can be very exciting. Unfortunately, it's not like you see on the television with the Sweeney all the time. Most of the time, a police officer is working his beat, getting to know people, getting to know the area.
Does everyone in the police force get a chance to drive a fast car?
No, they don't. Driving these fast cars, as you call them, is a specialist department called the traffic department. To be able to drive these cars, you have to be specially trained to drive them, and of course motorbikes, which is part of the traffic division. It also covers motorways, and their main functions really are to keep A, the traffic flowing, and B, to make sure that everybody can drive on the road safely.
Do you need a lot of qualifications to become a good police officer?
You have to pass a very strict exam when you apply to join the police force. So really you do need a good education. In fact, most police forces do have qualifications that you require before you can join.
This is a police training centre. It's one of 6 such centres which are in various parts of the United Kingdom. This is the first training college that the recruits visit after they have joined the police service. They've been in the police force for approximately 1 week before they come here, and they come here for 14 weeks, and we teach them basic law. We teach them self-defense, a form of martial art called Aikido. We teach them first aid, and we teach them life-saving. And at the end of 14 weeks they are expected to be qualified in all those respects.
6, 7, 9.
Right, ready? Go!
Is the training any different for girls?
No, the training's not different for girls. You are a police officer and you're still expected to do the same work as the men. You don't have to be quite as tall.
Strike to my forehead with the open hand for a distracting blow. Remember, it is a distraction, not intended to maim. Dip the left shoulder to break your opponent's balance. And as soon as that balance is broken, pivot to the right and take down in a straight arm lock, down to the floor and into the ground restraint.
Is there any room for promotion in the police force, and how far can you go?
Yes, you've got a good chance of getting on. You've got to have the right qualities and you've got to work very hard. If you do that and can pass the exams, then there's no reason why you can't go to the top.
Our theme today is police action at crashed aircraft.
Recruits can continue their academic work when they leave here, but for the first 2 years it's restricted to the process of training. After the 2 years, then the whole range of promotion examinations is available to them. There is an alternative system, and that's the special course system. That is available to recruits of a fairly high academic standard. And then they are required to undertake a series of extended interviews. If they pass those, then they attend the police college at Bramshill, and subject to a satisfactory course there, will become inspectors in a very short space of time. The primary reason for putting recruits through marching and discipline procedures is in the first place that a great number of young people cannot walk correctly. They don't look well in uniform, but also it's necessary for them to react to discipline in certain situations, particularly in disorderly situations when they're required to act as a group. It's a different role when they are marching than when they are walking the beat as an ordinary urban police officer. It's very important. What about you, Birdies? What did you get this week?
95, sir.
95, doesn't matter with you. You dropped 5 marks, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Good turn. And you, Miss Lee, how did you get on to this week?
70.
70?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, you did all right in the way, didn't you?
Yes.
Is there any chance to work with the police dogs and police horses?
Police dogs and horses are specialised sections of the police force, and to be quite fair, they are quite hard to get into. There are other specialist departments in the police force. Traffic I've already mentioned this morning. The other one is CID, Criminal Investigation Department. Their function mainly is to investigate and detect crime. They deal with the more serious crimes generally. Next question, please.
Yes. What sort of qualities do you need to be a policeman?
That's a good question.
The qualities that go to make a good police officer are mainly related to human awareness, common sense, integrity, a willingness to serve the community, courage. Obviously, they need a great deal of courage. But probably the main thing is the ability to handle situations which other people will stand back from. If they've got those qualities, then we can do something with them.
You're going to cause this vehicle to stop for the purpose of a routine check.
Good morning, sir. I'm just doing a vehicles check. Could you turn your engine off a bit, please, sir?
Yeah.
Right. Is this your vehicle?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Have you got any documents on you, sir? Please?
Yeah. Well, I've got a driving licence.
We make a great deal of use of closed-circuit television. In fact, we ask the recruits to become fairly competent in the use of television cameras. We set up incidents that they're likely to encounter in the road, such as dealing with a suspect motor vehicle. And then we have recruits record that. And then we discuss the situation with the recruit that acted out the role in his classroom later on. And then we bring in the whole variety of requirements, such as approach, policemanship, and street craft.
Okay, we're looking at the officer's enforcement of the law, but more importantly in this case, her attitude towards enforcing it. And if you had to approach that driver to question him with regards to ownership of that vehicle, how do you think, PC Burgess, that you would have approached him?
I think she's got good eye contact there. She's looking at him straight in the eye. But her position in relation to the door, as we found out, it was taped without consent. So it's possible that the chap could just swung the door open on her, injured her, and run off. She could have lost some money.
Right, thank you. PC Burgess has there mentioned the position of Miss Lee in relation to the car. So where would you, PC Burgess, put yourself there when speaking to that driver?
Either just towards the rear of the car,
Yeah.
or probably towards the front of the car more, because you could still keep your eye contact with him then.
Okay.
At the end of 14 weeks, they return to their own forces and they undergo further training, such as streetcraft training and further training in the various police schools.
One of the other things you have to do when you're walking around is to keep an eye on the telephone boxes. Although they've changed the technology, you still got to make sure that they're working. Because there will be times when other people are going to need them, not necessarily you, because you'll have your personal radios.
Streetcraft training is an experienced police officer teaching a recruit the art of working the beat. It's a 10-week period in most forces, and basically what's happening is that the experienced officer is passing on the benefit of his knowledge to the recruit in the real world, bearing in mind that it's rather unreal in the police training centre, regardless of the fact that we do try to simulate real life.
Selling his stuff. Yeah. So, all right, there you got a good turnover today. That's how to get rich. Look at all that lot he's taken today. Look at that. We're now at the mosque. Here is one of the areas where you'll get all the Muslims coming at various times of the day and night for their prayer meetings and for other functions. Just move on. This is Yvonne, John and Clive.
Hello.
They're new recruits. They've just come onto the division.
How do you do?
And I've just been explaining to them the fact that there'll be people coming into your building at certain times. Perhaps you can explain why, please.
We have got a different timing of our prayer. The morning time and the midday prayer, middle prayer, evening prayer and night prayer.
Put them to one side and people can get in there. That's great.
Liverpool. Better than all the other teams.
Who's your team? Who do you support then? Who's your football team?
Liverpool's top division.
Liverpool.
I know they are. They're good, aren't they?
Rubbish.
Liverpool's best.
You can usually put kids at their ease talking about football. That's why I play with the local youth team 2 nights a week. This kind of community activity is really useful in helping to build a bridge between the police and the public. Being a policeman, though, isn't all fun and games, especially on cold winter nights. It can also be boring and seemingly monotonous. The challenge, I suppose, lies in being able to recognise the little things that aren't quite right, like the market trader who isn't at his usual stall, or yesterday's milk still on an old lady's doorstep. People seem to find my presence reassuring. When they see me every day, they get to know and trust me. It allows them to chat to me freely and relate anything they think I ought to know. And all these little pieces of information you acquire on beat patrol can sometimes add up to something quite significant.
All right, you. Who started all this then?
He did. Can you explain what's going on here, please?
All I know is this bloke here has accused him of robbing him over a video.
Is that right?
It's my video, I paid for it.
We agreed to share it was an agreement.
Here's my 100 quid.
100 quid for a video?
All right, say £100, but we agreed to share.
Where did you get a new video from for 100 quid?
Look, it weren't new, it was second hand. A chap came in a couple of weeks ago, said he could get me a real good video if I give him £100 cash.
Really? Can you describe this man?
Well, he's the same as me. He's about my height, dark hair, beard, about 30.
How was he dressed?
Quite trendy, really.
Trendy, you call that thing round his neck trendy?
You wouldn't know trendy if you got up and spit in your eye.
I'm checking that from you, mate.
All right, you can stop that right now.
That little incident was the highlight of the night, along with the cat that got stuck up a tree. Anyway, it all went into the report I handed into the duty sergeant the next day. But I continued to think about what those 2 men had told me in the pub. About a week later, I was walking down the high street.
Sorry, mate, I've been to the bank.
Is your vehicle parked on the yellow line, sir?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't find a meter anywhere.
Do you realise that this is an offence, sir?
Yeah, I was only gone for a couple of minutes.
Can I see your driving licence and insurance, sir?
I'll never carry them with me, mate. You can never tell when they're going to get nicked. There's some right villains about here.
Do you have any other identification?
No, I don't, no.
I'd like your name, address and date of birth, please, sir.
Yeah, sure. Brian Chambers, 42 Marston Road, Wolverhampton. I was born on the 30th of June,
Officer,
1956.
please help me. Please help me. A shop over the road has shortchanged me. I'm desperate for the money.
I'll be with you in a moment. I'm just dealing with this. 9918.
Yes, 9918, go ahead.
PNC, check please on vehicle registration number Juliet Golf Kilo 924 Tango.
Yes, received. That's Juliet Golf Kilo 924 T Tango. Stand by. Yes, that does come back. It's a red Cortina. It is stolen. The IP is Mr. Reed, 15 Vowel Road City. Have you still got it?
The vehicle has just driven away from me, heading south on the A34 towards the motorway.
November 1 to November Zulu 1. November Zulu 1. Make the A34 southbound. It's a stolen red Cortina, Juliet Golf Kilo 924 T Tango. Been sighted now southbound.
Zulu 1, now in pursuit of suspect Cortina. Please inform motorway control we will stay with him until motorway backup arrives, over.
Motorway control calling November Tango 1, November Tango 2, please. From November Zulu 1, in pursuit of Ford Cortina Saloon, red in colour. Registration number J Juliet, G Golf K Kilo, 924 T Tango. This is a stolen vehicle. Making for M42 southbound, possible pursuit.
That's quite a haul. Where did you get them all? Turned out this chap had a warehouse full of this stuff down All Saints Road. Have you got your guarantee card with the serial number on it, sir?
Yes, here it is. That's the one. What about the television and the rest of the stuff?
Oh, it's safely stored under lock and key, sir.
Well, the insurance company's going to be pleased. I can't wait to tell my wife. And I can't thank you enough, officer.
The PC will show you how, sir. Fine piece of work there, young Philip. I'm proud of you, son.
Thanks, Sarge. All in a day's work.
Fancy a hot piece of action now, do you?
Oh, yes, Sarge. It was a hot piece of action, all right. A fire in a local restaurant, followed by 3 hours under a hot sun with a party of lost tourists. All in a day's work for a police officer.
Sadly, we have come to the end of our journey, and we hope you've enjoyed the clips we've shown you, encompassing the last 100 or so years. And as the police service moves forward into the new millennium, with all the challenges that faces, Here's looking to the next 100 years.
Thank you.